Hello, everybody, and welcome to the finals of the semifinals. Learn Dota 2 League Season 12 semifinals. Backdoor Boys and Radiant Straits. This is our final match, no matter how things go. Last time, Manoy played a real mid and won instantly, basically.
Yep.
With me here, we've got Randy and we've got Vex, who's standing in for maybe he's standing in for Dusty, maybe he's standing in for Ladder Lads, maybe he's standing in for like Boofus or X3 maybe. I mean, I think you could actually stand in
Could be
for
Tybor.
all. Yeah, it could be Tybor maybe. I think you could actually stand in for any of the threes in the league actually.
Tybor rip.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of rip, I got a little bit of a replay bug here. I got spoiled enough to know the first ban on the Radiant Straits is Grimstroke.
Alright.
They do not want to see that again, and that is no surprise. Grimstroke super creamed them the last game. Like, that was probably Combination Bean's highlight performance of the entire tournament there.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. And Rada was, right there with her owning.
Right, yeah. I don't know if Combination Bean watches these casts. I think so. So she'll be happy to hear that, maybe. I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
You get a thank you letter from her.
Yeah.
Fucking 8-page long thank you letter.
Dear
Wow.
pesky plumbers.
Yeah, that should be our official stream name, the Pesky
Yeah,
Plumbers.
Backdoor Boys targeting Princess's psyche by banning out all the waifu heroes. You know, at the beginning of the season, I thought Marcy would probably be in the pool by the end of it, but it's increasingly
She's
looking like it's
still
not going to be
not.
the case. And when are they
'Cause
going
they're
to
not
patch?
gonna release a patch.
God damn it, Gabe! Where's the
8
patch?
months long patch.
Where's the goddamn
Please
patch? There's so
give me
many
a new
broken
meta.
things.
True.
There are so many broken things about this patch, dude. Change things. Change it.
Spirit breaker.
Please, I beg of you. At the Snapfire here again. Looking at the Snapfire first, I really hope I didn't just watch the exact same game again. Well, I mean, I couldn't have because that's first being Snapfire, so you know.
First
By the
name
way,
Grimstroke.
Radiant Straits on the Dire. Yeah, first being Grimstroke.
Well, of course.
That's what I was saying. Radiant Straits on the Dire. If they don't win this, that means that Radiant Straits at a 100% being on the Dire rate this whole tournament.
That's true.
That's why they're not winning.
Yeah! If they were on Radiant, they'd be winning every single match.
Yep.
Home field advantage. Also, enjoy the no music here. Jakiro! I know somebody's going to be happy to see that. I asked Pohohoro who Combination Bean should play as before the game started, and Pohohoro said Jakiro, so must have been listening to Pohohoro
Yeah,
before this round started.
seems that way.
Dire team pick.
Phantom Lancer.
Alright.
Again.
Running it back.
Dire team
You got
back.
flashbacks here, dude. That's not flashing me
Yeah.
back. They're not letting Underlord get banned out against PL again. They're
Yep.
absolutely going to take that. Not a bad idea. I think of the threes, PL or Underlord is probably the best, most direct counter. Axe is probably in second place. Earthshaker also definitely in the equation if you want to run him 3. A little actually confused why they didn't run the Axe last round, to be honest with you. I feel like Axe could have actually had a lot to say there against both the Void Spirit and the PL.
Guess he doesn't play it.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
not.
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like if you're gonna run pause 3, you should probably have at least a grip on Axe enough to play. To be honest with you, like if he's not in your pool, he definitely always should be. I don't think he's ever gonna be going away just because of the utility he has. Even when he's bad, he's still gonna have that. Earthshaker much the same way. I don't think he's quite as essential on 3 because you can play him in other roles. I think pretty well. Axe, 3 or nothing. But yeah, no matter what the meta is, no matter what the situation is, Axe is always going to have a place, I think. And being able to play him, being able to make the other guys worry about him, definitely, I think, always going to be an advantage, even if you don't really intend to play him much. Like, you don't need to be an Axe god, but definitely have him in your discussion
5
pool.
seconds remaining.
Like, have him in your, if I'm seeing PL, I can just knock him out. If I'm seeing some of the spirits, I can get rid of him. If I'm seeing a Shadow Fiend, I can get rid of him. Things like that.
Haven't seen much X in this tournament yet.
Yeah, I think the
Manic
only
plays him the
person,
most.
the only person who's picked Axe multiple times is probably Banana Stand.
True.
How
And
about
you
you?
if you enter the pool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't play Axe much myself, so it would probably be a threat of picking Axe more than a pick of picking Axe. But I'm not playing in the pool
10
anyway. I don't care
seconds remaining.
what do you guys say. Sorry. I just talk about Dota.
5 seconds remaining.
Would you like to play Witch Doctor Pass 4?
Yeah, that's love it.
Radiant
Please
team
draft me that next year, and I'll have your pet on a goddamn pike. This is such a game two flashback. Like
Yeah.
we're really looking at a very similar situation, though. Two of the core ingredients of the Backdoor Boys' success last round have been banned out, in the Centaur and the Grimstroke.
No Void Spirit ban, no respect.
Yep, they're letting them
10
win
Yeah.
through again. They
seconds
do not
remaining.
believe, and I think it is probably smart thinking to say that Manoy is
5
probably not
seconds
going to play
remaining.
the same hero twice in a row. That really just
Yeah.
isn't his style. That's knowing who you're banning against, I think.
Or they'll ban in next phase.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm thinking they're going to pick up the Manoy last.
This is a deafening silence of the draft phase for
Yeah.
some reason.
Because,
Dire team pick.
if you,
Disruptor.
I let it go a little too long, they banned out first ban. If if you backtrack, if you rewind during this, it just kills the music.
Sad.
Vex, why don't you sing us some show tunes while I consider the Disruptor pick?
10 seconds
Uh,
remaining.
No, I'm good.
Randy, why don't you sing us some
Fair,
show
fair
tunes?
response.
Why don't you sing us some show tunes while we're waiting for the next pick?
I'm also good.
They're gonna make me do it too.
Yeah. You have to carry the show, man. It's your show.
Cut my life into pieces.
Oh,
This.
nice.
Oh,
I'm not singing that.
no.
Dire team
At least you tried, so
Yeah.
I'll give you points for
Uh,
trying.
Yeah,
Of course.
give
Ooh,
it a
Ogre
second too.
Magi.
Classic
Need an
LD2L support. This is almost like the LD2L support pool du jour. Like Jack, Disruptor, Snap, and Ogre. Like you see all these guys everywhere.
Radiant team pick.
And Lena on the Radiant Straits. Gonna be our princess pick this game.
Yep.
Pretty brave to pick up the Lena when you get neither last, like you don't have it in the last pick. You don't have the last pick at all, in fact.
Yep.
10 seconds remaining.
Got a
5
question for you
seconds
guys, right?
remaining.
Everything else about Lena I get, but like, why does her little cape and her hair stay like floating up? Like if she can fly, that's one thing, but like why can her hair fly too? Separate from her.
It's the wind force from her fire hands.
Hmm.
You know, I'm no hot air balloon expert, but I feel like if you have like a hot air balloon, right? If you have that sort of propulsion system, the tradition is that you have the fire under whatever you got rather than like way off to the sides.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know. Gabe wasn't thinking about it when he designed Lena.
Maybe Lena just took one too many trips to the Taco Bell before this.
Maybe she has
Possibly.
she has an updraft on her hero model
Yeah.
permanently, I guess.
Yeah, there's just somebody off screen with a really powerful fan.
With a fan.
See him. That's why she's not. That's why she hasn't been seen basically at all this tournament. She's been manning the fan,
True.
keeping the updraft going for Lena.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe like one or two CMs we've seen the whole time. Ah, of course.
Ah,
My
classic.
knuckles are bleeding just thinking about this.
Oh,
But they got a
this
lot of
goes back there.
anti-disengaged, Spirit Breaker and Disruptor, and even the PL. Nobody's going to be getting out of here except the Underlord ult, basically. And
Yep.
Underlord has to live long
10
enough to get that
seconds
done.
remaining.
He is in a pretty good position to do it, but
5
he
seconds
has to
remaining.
also not be in the Disruptor ult as well.
Right.
Is this a mid spare regular? Can't be right.
It is Minoy.
Hmm.
I
There's
wouldn't
definitely
think so. I think it's probably offlane.
yeah, there's definitely a place to send Spirit Breaker either way. Like You could have it 2 or 3. And if we have Spirit Breaker 2 this game, you know,
10
here this late in the
seconds
series, we'll finally complete the scorecard and have Spirit Breaker at least once on every single
remaining.
role
5
in this
seconds
tournament.
remaining.
I think they're
Wait,
picking.
really?
Yeah,
I
that's
think it
true.
got picked one.
Like week 1. Somebody ran a Spirit Breaker
Oh,
one.
okay.
Like week 1 or 2.
Dire team ban.
Fucking BSJ fan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think they'll pick for Minoy less.
We've had 1, 3,
Magician
4,
agrees.
5. Yep. I mean, hey, you never know. It really could be Minoy. I mean, Minoy will literally play anybody mid.
10 seconds remaining.
It's true.
Radiant team ban.
True.
And this could be great bait. This could be
Bloodseeker
great
ban.
bait if this is Minoy on Spear Breaker, because they really have they
I don't know why
wasted
they
it.
banned the Bloodseeker. They could have just picked it.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been pretty good here. They would have been really sacrificing their late to do
seconds
so,
remaining.
but I definitely feel like that could have worked,
Oh,
especially
it's like-
considering
Lambert wants something else.
they left Arc. Wait, no, they didn't leave Arc. I'm an idiot.
They want Pango.
Pangolier, huh?
Okay. Well,
Not what I expected. BSJ.
did not what I
Hmm.
expect.
Hmm.
Keep it PMA, keep it BSJ.
I like it. I like it. Can queue up the snap
Midas,
fire ult.
Midas Pango, let's go. Let's go,
Oh
boys.
boy, I hope so.
10 seconds
Can
remaining.
help keep people in place. Oh no, not this. I
Probably
hate
enough
this.
time on that
5
fucking
seconds
passive.
remaining.
Easy.
Keep up the snapfire. I'll get something to keep guys pinned down during that. Can help out the Lena with the armor break. That's going to do a lot for Lena. You know, she has Lena's very sort of attacks per second type auto for most of the game. Necrolite.
Necro.
Your heroes.
Okay, so Spirit Breaker 3. Oh,
Yep.
Yep.
yeah.
That's a very brave Necro pick against Alina. That could really go back on you pretty quick. So a lot of faith in his disruptor, I think.
Right.
A lot of faith.
Real Jakiro versus fake
Fake
Jakiro,
Jakiro, yeah.
obviously.
Solid Jakiro versus Liquid Jakiro. Not
Yeah.
Team Liquid Jakiro.
Pre-COVID Jakiro versus post-COVID Jakiro.
Damn.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
The Necro pick against Selena could be very brave. There's a lot of faith in his team to do that because if Lena and Necro are allowed to be in the same place at the same time, Lena is just going to eat him. Just straight up.
Right.
Is just going to murder him. No trace left of him. But on the other hand, if Minoy's friends are there, I don't know what Lena does against Spirit Breaker. I don't know what Lena does against PL especially. And super especially, if she's in the Disruptor ult, I think she just dies instantly.
Yep.
I gotta
Looks
say
like they don't have
this.
a great answer for the PL again.
Right. I
Yeah.
gotta say this. I don't know if I was a fan about the Lena pick into the Disruptor in PL. I feel like that's just kind of asking for a bit of trouble there. The obvious question, okay, then who? I don't know. But Lena, I don't know if that was the call here. Guess we'll have to see it in action.
Yep.
But yeah. Actually, maybe funnily enough, the Necro in kind might not have been too bad, given what their team position is. Give a nice set of magic damage to go along with the big fizz damage that you're going to have from the Pango. I guess they probably just did it to have armor break plus Lena autos, but
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know. Forecast is a little grim on this Lena pick, I feel like. Just not the right game. What do you think?
We'll see, but
Yeah,
I
I don't
think
like it.
mostly I don't like it either.
Let's watch Pit Lord just angrily stomp his way to the lane. I've never realized how much Pit Lord's walking around animation just looks a little pissed off. Like Underlord just heard his dogs barking at the other side of the house again, and he's a little tired of it, you know?
Even when he's laughing, he's pissed.
Let's have a really crappy one-sided game 3. Here's the Radiant Straits classic here.
Yep.
30
Yep.
seconds to battle.
Oh yeah, Princess has to get a stand-in in RD2L because this went to game 3. It's very sad.
Yep.
You know what the R in RD2L stands for, right?
I read it.
Stands for Randy.
Yeah, that's what it stands for.
We've actually casted unofficially a couple of RD2L games like way back in the day too. That was fun.
Yep.
Including one infamous one where Tinker played pause 1, Neeks lane against him, and for some insane unholy reason just refused to ever take mana break. If you are that person, why dude? That's haunted me for years.
Turns out it's like Princess.
Yeah. That was you, princess. Why? Why, bro? But yeah, the R in RD2L stands for Randy. If we ever cast RD2L, I'll make sure to make that stupid joke joke, quote unquote, every single
It's not
time.
really a joke.
Yeah. I have to put quotation marks around it. I'll make sure to say that stupid phrase every single time.
Oh, you can have a taunt spamming Pango. That's the best type.
This 3 seconds is some bigger song.
Yeah.
I will say this. If the intention is to have like a machine gun auto attacks only Lina, they do have a good lineup for it. Pango can break the armor. You have the Ogre Magi E. And of course the Pit Lord not only keeps the other guys
Snap can also break
uncompetitive.
armor.
Yep. Pit Lord not only keeps the other guys uncompetitive, but also keeps things off with his passive. And finally, you got Snap, who also has an armor break, who also has something to do from the sidelines as well. Can be the source of magic damage there. So if they want to just run Machine Gun Lina, they got the right loadout for it. They got the right. It's the right place and the right time.
For sure.
The thing about that is though that if, as you said, if she gets disruptor ulted, or if she gets like SB charged and just like ulted and just like can't right click for like half the fight, then
Yeah, she's done.
She can't
Yeah,
ramp
that
up
is
the
true.
right click. So
She's got a lot riding on her.
Yep.
A whole lot. It could go
And
bad.
if they
I don't
super
know how
need to
much
stop her,
damage-
they can just scythe her. So
yeah. I don't know how much damage this Pango's gonna do. So
Right, I feel like Pango even from 1 is probably going to be a lot of ult and a lot of armor break and not that much else.
Yep.
It's not a situation where he's going to be doing much more than that.
I'm gonna play like 3 Pango mostly. Just a lot of CC, but that's about it.
the other linchpin is gonna be Lina.
Yes! Haha!
Glad you agree, Fango.
Yeah, he must be listening. He's hearing us talking right now. We were gonna cast this. I wonder if anybody is playing this game thinking that we're casting it live. I mean, everybody's playing this game, nobody knowing we're gonna cast it eventually. Oh, first blood. First blood on the
Yep.
Rada to boot. Keeping it.
That was revenge from last game because Rada got primary spread.
Yep.
First blood.
Just going right back and forth with Cranberry Sprite here.
Yep.
Keeping it both PMA and PSJ. No, Ogre's Courier! No, Pango's Courier too!
Sag.
Top lane is, top lane for Radiant Straits, 0 couriers.
Chipsy got both the couriers.
She's gonna die though.
He's gonna get tipped.
Nope. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
they don't have, Pango has no mana, neither does Ogre. They're both out. No restoration. That's a great argument for a Mango right there.
Yep.
But it's the situation where you really wish you had one. Well, they're gonna get the range creep out here. Never mind. Magician's hiding his shame. You can't let anyone know he kind of failed to get the block there. Or pull there.
Ooh, that is some hot chili you're serving up down there.
Some hot chili.
It's true.
Some hot chili at the mid lane. Lina kind of. Okay, maybe not. Necro's got an entire wave for free. She was holding a pretty good advantage over him.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Aggro is pretty close to 6. I don't know what Lina does at 6, to be honest with you. Without him having Ghost
It's
Shroud
who strikes first at
Right.
6.
Well, Lina doesn't have, or Necro doesn't have Ghost Shroud here, so
Right.
he's not going to be in danger of accidentally just blowing himself up. He's been leveling away from that.
I like your style.
Wisely enough, yeah.
Yep, I doubt he's going to be using much Ghost Shroud in general this game. It is super dangerous for him to do that.
Yep.
And think about all the things that really mess him up. You know, the Pit Lord Firestorm, the Snapfire ult, the
Snap ult,
Lina
yep.
everything, even the Ogre Magi stuff, pretty bad. This is definitely going to be one of those games where if I'm Necro, I'm definitely strongly thinking about I'm thinking about the, it is Shroud, right? I always forget
Eternal
what that stupid
Shroud.
thing- Yeah, Eternal
Yep.
Shroud. I always forget what that stupid thing is called.
Lambert.
Definitely thinking Eternal Shroud. Yep, Lambert is very dead. He was like
Yep.
super duper dead there. There's nothing to be done about that. Dusty's gonna casually walk away and not even die for it.
Oh, he's going the double null. That's the meta right now.
Wow.
Yeah. Get the man up as the spam.
And then that's it. He's not going mana boot, so he has phase queued up.
Yep.
Double null. Man, I tell you what people will do to not get Vlads these days.
Yeah.
It's
Gonna take a run
going
at
in
Magician
here.
here. Rada dies in the
Yep.
bot lane.
Rada dies elsewhere. Kubrick actually getting really messed up for this. He's really low. He might be gone. I don't know if he
He's
lives
only-
through this ignite. Yep,
No, he's gone.
he's out. He's out of the picture here.
They have the Orb of Corruption or whatever it's called. Plus,
Ooh, blocks.
Good body block by the Ogre Magi there. I think
Very good.
I think Jakiro is dead in any case, but that was definitely good. Definitely good.
Some hot chili you're serving up down there.
and both teams strong voice line games. Every kill,
Yeah.
couple voice lines.
Every kill. Yep. Anybody got the Effie laugh?
I had it, but then I decided to be a human and just get that out.
I've only seen Esper use it in this league.
Oh, London.
London uses it
can't
too.
you-
Yeah, London
How
uses it
could you
too.
forget the? Oh, good side. Not quite enough. He definitely, I think, should have used that that illusion a little earlier there. I think that would have gotten a kill cumulatively. But yeah, who could forget the famous GG's Tupac game where London Effie laughed literally every time.
Every
Youngster
time you
died?
got a kill. Yeah.
Because London is a very PMA guy. He has
Yeah.
never tried to
Yes.
tilt anyone.
He's a nice guy. We'll be seeing a lot of London in the coming weeks.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't think so. I think London's probably
I
just
think so.
done. I doubt we'll ever see that guy again. I mean,
Wow.
I'm kind of cursing myself saying that because I said that about Gotham when he was supposed to come in a couple of weeks ago, and then he just no-showed us on the day
It
of.
didn't so it looked like we were being serious.
Yeah! Yeah, you know what's the best part actually is like, he missed out because he wanted to see a football game. When it started going bad, he was like, "Yeah, can I show up after all?" Like, like 5 minutes to cast time. And it's definitely good. We went with
Shoutouts to Gotham.
yeah, it's definitely good. We went with whoever the backup was, guys. I don't know if Gotham has the same resolve to see it out like Tall Balls does. So,
Right.
shoutouts to Tall Balls. Screw you, Gotham. Hashtag Manifest Destiny was right.
Friend of the show, Gotham.
Yeah, friend of the show, Gotham.
Friend of me, Gotham,
Friend
apparently.
of Randy, yeah. He's never been shy about his 91-200 distaste. Good reaction here from the Spirit Breaker here. Just trying to use his abilities as best he can to try and tank through here. Will it work out? It's really close. Nope,
Said-
not quite. Not quite.
Unfortunate.
Ogre Magic just gonna beat Jakiro up so he can't just keep going for it. He's gonna lose a lot of HP. By the way, Rada died again.
Sag.
What is happening in this bot lane, dude? Rada just dies every time you stop looking at him.
Probably Pit of Malice plus Cookie. Not much you can do about that,
It was
especially.
a rough line.
Yeah.
Yep. Unlike the last time, this is definitely like it's not like Underlord is going to be the #1 right-click guy in the world, but with this passive, man,
Yep.
with this passive, he can.
That's the Liz Shredder.
Yep. You definitely do it. It is one of the better combos. My personal favorite will always be Titan Snap.
Radiant's
That is so
bottom
nasty.
tower
As
is
long as you
under
remember
attack.
that Gush is a skill in this game and don't just go all in on Anchor Smash like somebody following the guy blindly. Got a lot of people coming in up top. Looks like,
Pango ulti.
yep, Pango ult for it as well. Looks like the Radiant Straits this time, you know, preemptively dealing with what they assume to be the Backdoor Boys running all in on their top lane again, like they have in the last couple of games.
Yep.
I mean, no surprise there. You got to figure it out sometime, right? Like the casual drop of the LSA on Roche, like he needs any more trouble in his life. Poor guy.
There's gonna be a panic at the Roche pit for whichever team wins this series.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
Ooh.
fitting.
Yeah,
Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't watched the other
is.
series yet.
big spoiler.
For some reason.
Yeah, it's true. Vex, were you watching live?
Oh yeah, wait, and I've just popped in for like the draft phase.
Oh my god.
Like know
Yeah.
know who Banana Stan was because I don't really know who he is. So
Damn.
yeah,
That's sad. You stood in for him like 2 or 3 times, and yeah, you don't know who he is.
He's a cool guy.
Well, that
man.
makes sense. I mean, he doesn't get to see the guys standing in for because he's not
Yeah.
there.
But I mean, surely the team would be like, well, here's his pool. Here's what you normally pick here, you know? You know, I'm just saying.
I just told him to pick me Brood phase one, like first phase, but
Yeah,
yeah.
Their Magi found us out. I'm gonna annoy Spirit.
All their dusty a bit, yeah. Ulti.
Oof.
He might be...
More
be
the
regretting
low
that
annoyed back.
decision.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's dead though.
Wow.
Yeah,
He's
he's dead.
super dead. Yeah. Yeah, might regret that one. That was certainly when the Fox is away.
He's pretty
Oh,
dead.
Spirit Breaker.
Dyer's top
Breaker
tower
very low.
is under attack.
Can't really
Oh.
comfortably ult. Oh, that was an awful time for that. That was an
No
awful time for that to
swashbuckle.
wear off. And
Oh,
yep, he was
oh,
so-
he just got the swashbuckle. Oh my god.
That's super sad. And goodbye, Princess. Immediately gets Princess out of the lane. Lambert actually now, as a result of that cleanse, very low. Again,
He's in
no,
trouble, yeah.
no mana, nowhere to go or anything.
Alright, good job, Rada.
Radiant's bottom
I think maybe
tower
the
is under
I
attack.
think maybe
Look
the
at the
play
bottom
there
tier
for
too, though.
I think maybe yeah. Maybe the play there for Lambert was just to pretend that it rains. Uh-oh. He ain't
Oh,
going
no.
nowhere. Ain't going nowhere, Pit Lord. See him 44. I think that was the first successful well, I mean it had to be the first successful this game because that's his first kill.
Is under attack.
First successful
Yep.
scythe.
From the tempest of battle.
Pretty big guy to get it on. Knocking out the Pit Lord for this amount of time, this early on, is going to be pretty good for them. Pit Lord's definitely going to be a lot of what makes or breaks Radiant Straits. His success is going to be largely their success. So if
Yep.
you're able to get the Pit Lord out early, great, fantastic. If you're not, you're fucked.
Gonna multicast Sunbeam here.
Yep. Going to just kill Bane. I like Lena's showing up for the typical anti-mage teamfight contribution.
Pretty good.
People still know about that video. I mean, that's a classic video right there.
I think even if they don't, they can pretty much deduce what you're talking about just from the phrase alone.
That's true. If you haven't seen whatever that video is called, you definitely need to see it. The only problem is I don't know what it's called.
Chris, really a repeat of the last game here. He's just been
Yep, just been sitting there being the insurance
completely
policy. He's,
farming. Yeah,
had no presence so far, though he is
show up
thinking about it
here.
now.
Pretty slow game with Necro getting his radiance and Chris farming. So
Yep.
Okay.
Backdoor Boys taking their time as much as possible. Snapfire ulting in to follow the Pango ult, but it's kind of in like 2 different places here. Snap wanted to get these guys here at the mid tower, but Lambert really didn't. They still do
We'll get
kind
the
of get
supports at
everybody
least.
involved. Yeah. Still do get everybody they were aiming for, if nothing else. As a result, this tower here is going to go down. By the way, guess what the first tower to die was?
Yeah, of course. And Magician picks up a veil there.
Has fallen.
oh, they're all going
A
top.
lot.
Dyer's
Not
I think
Snapfire.
Barrett tier 1 might
Snapfire
have
wants
died
to-
before that tower, but might be wrong.
Snapfire wants to take the long way there for some reason.
Ooh, he might catch him.
Snapfire just wants to play cutoff here.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
actually pretty good.
Very good, yeah.
Pretty good on that Snapfire here.
Damn. It's good.
Good
They
call
read the more
by
perfectly there.
good call by Cranberry, definitely. Good prediction of how Manoy is gonna react to that.
Such an intelligent little play.
Right, yeah. You see a lot of that from Cranberry. I think Cranberry definitely has very good game sense. I think Cranberry's sort of like thought of how people are going to be playing, where to be, what to do, kind of. I think that's definitely his biggest strength. I do think 4 is a pretty good fit for him in that way, though I think he actually could do maybe some better work on 5.
We're all up here.
Breaker making a lot of trouble in this fight here. Just
Good macro.
stretching everybody here. Uh-oh, Scythe on the Princess. Lena is going to be out
Clean
for
up the
days.
tail.
Oh, the ice path!
A very good ice path. Peel is here, but he gets bowled over!
Sad.
Oh, yeah. he does.
Huge Pango ult. No matter how the rest of this goes, this is looking very good. Manoy is dead too.
Ooh.
Holy crap. We need
Gets a
wards.
triple kill before he goes down, at least.
Right.
But might be another triple here.
Yep.
Yeah, not much
Yeah, I think Gover's
consolation
gonna
to
get it.
this, I must say.
Yeah.
Magician accidentally snakes.
Spear breaker.
Yeah, Spearbreaker looking to get the kill on the Magician here, though. Oh, such
Let's
luck.
back off.
Sad.
Spearbreaker kills the catapult moments before gonna take out the T1 here.
Pretty bloody fight on both ends.
Yeah, very good Pango ult in there. Just did probably way more than anyone was expecting it to. I think definitely caught them by surprise. I mean, it caught me by surprise certainly, and I'm casting the
That's
goddamn thing.
flattens
So
Chris.
yeah,
He's looking pretty dead again.
unfortunately, all the Ogre Magi stuff
Good
came
deal.
out when he was bulldozed, but the cookie didn't. Goodbye, Spearbreaker. Cranberry
Yeah.
stops to let Lambert take the kill.
So
Spearbreaker last in stereo.
I always spam other lanes so I can just get out, charge out.
Yep. Some more good game sense by the Cranberry sprite. Again, I feel like Cranberry would actually work a little better 5 maybe just because of things like that. Like, that's such a valuable thing to have as 5. And it's very good as 4 as well. I think it's like the biggest skill is 5, and I think he shows a lot of that. Maybe next season we can see some of that, because there's definitely up.
Rada kills a bunch of couriers.
Yep, and
Look at 3 couriers here?
nope.
Okay, never mind.
no, they're not having this.
Ooh.
The
He's gonna
welcoming
bait,
committee
he's gonna
is
take
here.
you out.
They don't care that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're willing to let him go.
Cranberry sprites cliffed, I believe.
I wish he cut that wave that's coming up top, but it's fine.
Money to burn.
Just a weird little cliff spot.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go. Yep.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Manoy's finished Radiance, by the way, if you're wondering.
Always good.
Ascended to the top of the net worth charts.
Is he gonna
Uh-oh.
get
He's
ascended
gonna,
right to hell here?
He's not good. He's gonna wish he wasn't there in a second. A good Rada ult in response. Good Disruptor ult comes out in response, but this is not what they need right now.
Damn.
Disruptor gets sent to hell instantly.
Alright, good get.
Some hot chili you're serving up down there.
Very good get.
Top
I mean,
early, more than
You
else,
kind of
some
got to
really
say
quick.
it's a good get, whether it is or not. At least that's what they do on Reddit. Everybody's a good get.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a very esoteric joke nobody's gonna get. That Elijah just lost about half his HP bar instantly. He needs to
Yeah.
finish that rod and get an Atos, or not an Atos, needs to get a Hood post
Finish the
haste.
Atos and buy another Atos.
Yeah, get 2. One for both hands. Needs
Chris is gonna
The charge.
definitely going in here.
Yep, these supports are going to be completely creamed. Lambert's gonna have something to say, but
Oh, the
Nice
Pango.
he's in a pretty bad spot. He can jump over the disruptor stuff, but he can't jump through glimpse. He's kind of out of tricks here, especially with no mana. Goodbye. But Rada gets it. How the hell did he get it? That's
fine.
unfortunate.
They're like Q, I think.
That's still big, but man, that's a bit unfortunate. I'm not even sure how. I think it was just one straight. Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Dire's middle tower is
You
under
love to
attack.
see it.
Yeah.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower
My
is
response
under
is as
attack.
follows.
That was costly.
That was
Dire's
costly.
middle
It
tower
was.
is
It
under
was
attack.
indeed. It's pretty costly.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Alright.
It's a miracle-esque play for Magician there.
See you in 120 seconds. It is a miracle.
Rada's dead. Oh,
Good arena.
nice.
Disruptor forces you to exit the arena. Chris, is actually not in the
Here.
best spot in the world.
Going pretty deep for this.
Yeah. And they're not really under much threat.
Yeah,
They used pretty
okay.
much all their tricks in the last fight. They don't even have Spear Breaker roll for this.
Yep.
You have the Disruptor roll, but I think without the rest of the lineup here, doesn't mean a lot. Gonna just be looking at the T2 here. While Rada looks on. Radiant Straits have definitely carved themselves out something big early games. I do feel like they're definitely going to want to finish this ASAP.
Yep. Because
Even
Chris
with-
is still lurking in the shadows.
Even with a better response to PL than what they've had, still don't have the best response in the world. For Underlord, it's going to be a while. He definitely needs both the big auras. He definitely is going to need a pipe, and I feel like he's going to need Crimson here. He's going to need them both.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Like you're gonna need pipes so you can blue ball the sides, and you're going to need Crimson so you can blue ball PL, and you're going to need them both, or people are just going to be dying very easily the whole game, basically.
Yep.
Dire's top tower.
What do you
is
think,
under
Vex? What do you do in that spot?
On what?
What do you think you'd do if you're Underlord here?
I wouldn't play under in the first place.
Damn. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Scythe on a real target this time as Cranberry Sprite goes to hell, and Spearbreaker charges right after. Just gets Laguna'd out. I think that's the first actual Laguna kill so far, too. Like all of Lena's others are not Laguna related. It might have been the actual first Laguna this game. actually.
No, she's
Was
used
it?
it.
Okay. There hasn't been many great times for her to use it. She does have BKB here. This is going to be pretty big. Can't do that much about the BKB. It definitely also means that Disruptor is
You
Disruptor
get
is
Silver Edge there too.
going to kind of need to get Ags at some point, basically.
The Spirit Breaker definitely needs Ags.
Right. SP needs
Silver,
Ags.
Silver Edge for the PL, you would imagine.
Silver Edge for PL? Yeah, probably.
Even the
Silver Edge.
Shard on Spirit Breaker is good.
Right. Yeah, probably not a bad idea to get them both, so you can be miserable, broken pre-TI3 or a Spirit Breaker.
Yep.
I remember when the meta for Spirit Breaker was like, you know, the stupid shard for him, right? Was just how he was normally. And what people would do is they would just tank through all the magic damage by just repeatedly starting and canceling ult over and over.
I think it gives you
Shootouts.
the magic immunity after another
sounds
strike now. So
Fucking cancer.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Radiant Straits
would-
looking to do a bit of an early rush here. At least Lambert looking to do an early rush here. Desperately trying to get his buddies to do it. I think I agree with the hesitation his buddies are giving him, though. They are going to take Roche out in pretty good time, at the very least.
Yep.
Radiant don't know this is happening. Radiant are completely blind. And by Radiant, I mean the Backdoor Boys, of course, not Radiant Straits, as you might expect. Been a while since we've had to clarify that.
Yep.
And yeah, with the Backdoor Boys, just completely not expecting it. Everything
you're
goes
near.
bad. You're near,
Very
they ain't
near.
here. Oh,
Ooh,
that was
that's
a
done.
tragic time to cancel the Pango ult there. I think if he'd actually committed to that, that was like a kill for sure. Like the Spirit
Oh,
Breaker
okay.
charged through just to protect the TP.
That was funny.
Yep.
This is the classic Spirit Breaker play.
If charges through to protect the TP, then it gets the hell out of there.
And push. Like,
Good work for Dusty.
delays the push.
Eh,
A lot of
attempt to catch her out of here.
Yep, a lot of fire
But-
disruptors said. PL illusions just really can't do anything to, well,
Dire's
glimpsed
bottom
right in
tower
time.
is under attack.
Field Illusions really can't do anything to the Pit Lord there. Just the passive is too much.
Radiant's
Seems
middle
Princess is
tower
online.
under attack.
Yep, for sure there.
Dire's bottom tower falls.
Though Necro did just take out a tower bot. It wasn't quite the same tier of tower, but you know.
We'll come
At
back
least
to
get some.
respond.
Yep.
Definitely having a big look at high ground here.
Right. Scythe is up, so they have that to play with. Macro's up, every ult is up actually, including this one.
Okay.
And this is not the ult you want to get everyone here.
That was
Labert.
Holy
sick.
Whoa!
shit.
Labert's super dead.
Rada got them all.
Damn.
Yep. He's back too.
Princess getting beat down by PL.
Scythe out on
Between
the
the crew.
ogre.
Aegis down.
Yep.
Likely a second death coming.
Pango buy him back out of desperation here. Down goes
Yep.
Princess, just double death there. That is
That's, yeah.
that is a really good display of just how nasty the Disruptor ult is this game. To be blunt, I don't think they picked very well around the guy. Like just if
They have a
Disruptor gets
charge
rid-
out on Lambert.
Charged?
Yeah, this is bad.
Ooh.
Really bad. No scythe.
Bought
but
back.
Breaker ult?
If they're just
Running around
gonna
the ball, and he
Damn.
gets out of there wisely.
gonna dodge right out, he also has his Ags already.
Dire's
Yep.
middle tower is under attack.
Spirit Breaker charge to the pit.
Yeah.
They got so much ability to delay game here on this push between the Pit Lord and the Glyph, though. They just have to get the hell out. Radiant Straits actually has a way better defensive lineup than you might initially think. You
Yep.
know, the Pit Lord, the Ogre Magi, the Snapfire, and the Pangolier all have something really annoying to do about defending uphill, and Lena has something to do when you get there.
Yeah, Lena can LSA from uphill too.
Yep. And I would say Lena is going to be more of a threat when you're actually uphill too than when you're down.
They're going for this.
Yeah, Princess definitely.
Radiant Straits running all the way into the Backdoor Boys jungle here. They're going
Taking a
long
look.
for it. Backdoor Boys. I thought Backdoor Boys knew this was happening, but maybe not. But that's a completely whiffed LSA. Labanoy is going to try and fight there. Was definitely not true. Combination beam stops the outpost from being captured,
Dire's bottom tower
Always
is
good.
under attack.
but only for one brief moment. Jungle items dropping all around the world.
The
Money,
bots
by the way.
on.
Tip back into Backdoor's favor. What are you about to say, Vex?
I said the bots on Necro plus the Spirit Breaker push is just like really annoying to deal with for Radiant
Yeah.
Straight.
On one hand, Radiant Straits have a great defense. On the other hand, they're going to definitely need it.
Yep.
Necro's gonna have strength blinking a bit, it looks like.
Yep. Strength Blink and then Shiva's just to make that pushing a little worse and really hurt that Lena machine gun build. You know, Lena's not going to be able to do much with her BKB down, basically. She's just, once again, BKB or die. Just simple as that. If BKB's not on, she just can't fight in the slightest.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least not until Underlord gets some of these auras up. And he's not going auras, he's going Gleep. I don't know if I'm down with that decision, to be honest with you.
Yep.
I think in this game, he really, rather than just going straight to the offensive, he needs to be the guy keeping his team alive. They do not have enough to do. They do not have enough ability to survive without. Just way too much damage at both sides, and definitely way too much preventable damage. He actually didn't even get Vanguard. He actually only sticked at the just the Ring of Health.
Yep. So Ring of Health and right near Gleipnir, probably PL, Spirit Breaker, Necro, anti those guys.
Right. Yeah, it is anti those guys. I just don't think it's anti those guys enough, and it's not the right
Right.
type of anti. You definitely need to
Smoke.
be the Vanguard here, funnily enough. Good snap ult, just really dissuades anybody from coming in on this, so it is not the world's best, unfortunately, as Backdoor Boy kind of see it coming, make sure they get nothing out of it.
Okay,
Manoy's caught
caught Manoy.
right in the rod there. He's taking all the damage Amanda's legally allowed to take. They got Lambert in the... Oh no, the side guy totally wasted. Lambert now just going to casually ult here and eat everybody. They had a good disruptor ult, but there was no disruptor arena there for it.
Yep.
Of course, though, unfortunately, it costs them a lot to do that. With pretty much everybody except Lads personally at very low health, and they can't really take much advantage of this. Not until Roche comes back up. That's not going to be up in time to do anything.
Yeah, Princess in particular escapes with a sliver there.
Right. Yeah, Princess went down. That might not have even necessarily been worth it. I mean, it's still very good, but they didn't get any of the cores. Well, they got Spirit Breaker, but he's not like he doesn't care, you know? He doesn't give one. Like, the biggest thing they got out of there is Waste and Scythe. And he's got Strength Link now, by the way, Necro does. And he's looking at BKB, which is going to make him a lot harder to stop.
Yep.
Cleep is up on the Underlord at least. Let's see where he goes next. Definitely going to be watching him like a hawk here. His build
I don't like it.
important.
I feel like you just go the classic auras this game, just like the Pipe plus Crimson Guard.
Right, yep. No, bro, Pipe UP, what can I tell you?
Yeah.
I mean, why would you want to be able to just completely blue ball a Scythe anyway? I mean, don't you want your cores to be spending 30 more seconds underground?
It's true, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking, but... Let's see where he decides to go. It's not like this game is over yet. They definitely are going to be able to push this along, so he has time to build up more. I just wish he would have started perhaps in a different direction. He can still go somewhere productive. Shivas would also be good. If you are part of the Crimson Hater Club, you can definitely.
It's like Grease.
Yeah, he's gonna trade his face for Grease. Not a bad idea, but it probably would have been better to start with it rather than going into it 30 minutes in. Ladalaj is gonna waste some time here. It's a pretty big response from Manoy, just leaves. Manoy with this Fairy Fire.
Plus your damage.
There since laning phase.
That was a shard, by the way. Got a shard
Look,
already.
if he sells that, he's gonna miss a kill by 2 HP, and
True.
you guys are gonna look really silly.
In fairness, I do that a lot too. I just keep like the manga or the. I mean, it's like it's free stats. It's like why pick up an Ocean Art if nobody wants it. It's like even if I get no use out of it at all, basically, it's free stats. It's better than 0 in that slot, you know. If I don't have anything else yet. Of course, if he keeps it and doesn't have and like has items in his backpack, is a different story. Oh my God, it's the real disruptor. See?
Yeah, it's really him.
He even vanished like the real one.
Yep.
Ace is gone. He's got the arcs now.
A lot of deep wards going on the side of Radiant Straits.
Yep, they got a lot of vision all over the place here.
Yep.
We're trying to see if they can perhaps catch PL.
Yeah, it's definitely the white whale for them right now. Nothing else. PL or Underlord does have some pretty impressive damage whenever he's like looking at basically anything. Spearbreaker's shard is up.
Okay. I don't like the Echo Saber. Really don't. I feel like you just go Shadow Blade for Saddle and then go Axe.
I mean, I'm not a super fan of Echo Saber in general right now.
Yep.
Unless
Really
you're
bad
Spectre,
item.
basically.
Nerf this
Ah,
spot.
good way to stop the Lambert ult there. Just Pangolier gets very casually Disruptor ulted, and even though Disruptor does die for it, ultimately probably prevents that. Turns that kill on the turns what could have been like a kill on 3 or 4 into a kill on the supports and nothing else.
Yep.
We get a tower, but still very good drop there.
Thing is, they're just buying time for their 1 and 2 to just come online. They have all the time in the world to do that.
Right. Yep.
They're just like, look, they're just cutting mid and just like
Is under attack.
making more space.
And again, especially if Underlord doesn't build for it, they don't really have a great answer to the PL. So you can just play all day. They don't have a great answer to the Necro either. They're still in the position where it's like if, especially Lina, who they're really building around right now, if Lina allows herself to be magic vulnerable for like 1 second, they can really punish that.
Yep. They're just really scared of the static storm to go high ground, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
It did literally just come back up. Yeah, we've seen that before. Like, Static Storm is so important in this game. If they get a good Static Storm, especially once
The
he's
fight
getting
is over,
once he
yeah.
gets Zags, and he's looking at it now. He's got Philo Stone just because, you know, last round the Backdoor Boys had to get messed up, so this time they got to get the messed up jungle items. They get Philo Stone just to make the Zags come out fairly quickly.
More fuel for my fire.
Pop this arcane. It's looking like they're seriously considering uphill here.
Right. If they
Yeah,
are, they need to Lambert ult early. Like, he
This
needs
might
to
be their last chance to do it.
right. He needs to be rolling in like in advance. He cannot like go in and start ulting. They've punished that like 3 or 4 fights in a row now.
Yeah, for sure.
And once
He's
again,
disruptor ulted.
he's
Okay.
in the disruptor ult. He's
he's
dead.
Dead.
Goodbye, Lambert.
Yep.
But he's
That
back
guy's
though.
so good at punishing him.
Oh, he bought back.
He bought back, but the closest thing to TP2 is the outpost here. It's gonna be a long time
yeah.
coming. A lot of lads goes down. He never even got the arc. He kept the ring of health in his
Lina's-
quelling blade in his inventory. So
Lina was in the fight. Lina was pretty far away, so.
He kept his quelling blade and his ring of health in his inventory instead of his mech.
I assume he just got the mech like right before he died.
Could be, but I just got this funny feeling, you know. And it did just get Daedalus. That is definitely big for them.
Yep.
I don't like the flame builds, but this Underlord build is like really weird to me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like I said, the greens aren't bad. Certainly better than nothing, but
They have Lina.
they super got Lena. Goodbye, Lena. Cool Snapfire ult incoming, but unfortunately,
Yep.
you win
Go
little
Rada.
with the peel alone.
Unfortunate. PL's online now.
Yeah.
Just Cranberry Sprite's fate this this series is to get to do cool things that mean nothing.
This one's looking a little grim.
Yeah.
No, Grim's banned.
Dire's middle
As OD would say, your future is grim.
Lambert
Dire's
finally, I think, getting the full weight of the situation, ulting for quite a
Right.
long distance, but he has
keeping
no
up.
Keep it up.
confidence in
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I wouldn't really.
And, lads, I don't
this is
know
GG.
what Lab was doing there, bro.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Make
Oh,
it uphill
dear.
now. Nothing's stopping him.
You know,
Yeah.
it's been a long time since I've had a nice, good pause through itemization where, like, what's it been? Like, maybe the last one was in, like, week 5, week 6?
What do you mean? You didn't like my Manta Bling Gaba?
No, that was great.
That was so good.
No, I mean, it worked, right? So what are you gonna say?
It did work.
Last
Yep.
second glyph. Yeah. You know, just bringing a lot of respect and glory. One of my favorite heroes. Anyway, so
Noise caught.
Manoy is like, yeah, he's super cut. He's super dead too, but it's really looking like it doesn't matter all that much, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Still just going about a million miles in.
Is the Jakira of Ags?
Does Jack have Ags? No Ags on Jack.
Nope.
Nope. Getting
Okay.
shard soon.
Liquid Frost.
I do not want to push on without Manoy. I think actually a slight underestimation of PL's ability, but checking Roche
still,
for some
I mean,
reason.
They don't lose anything not risking it because they
I guess
win
that's
late.
true. I guess that's true.
So many
It would
sentries.
be It would be a nice security blanket there for them, being able to at least get the range drag, so I think.
So between picking like a risk that could end badly, or just doing that in 5 minutes when PL's even stronger.
Well, that's a risk in itself, because, you know, like I said, leave this range rack up, you're not getting quite the same equilibrium. And if the equilibrium goes badly for them, it could precipitate a nasty push. That's the biggest thing that the Backdoor Boys have had in their pocket this game, is that whenever Radiant Straits have been really looking at their lanes, it seems like they only ever have one option. You know, they're only top, they're only mid, they're only bot. Being able to buy something like that would definitely be a big advantage for them, and I don't think it would have been that much of a risk to finish it off. No, the PL illusions.
And the problem now is, again, like we were talking about it, in the draw phase, that Princess has to do all the damage to
Right.
kill everyone, and she doesn't have the Scotty, she doesn't have, like, a lot of tools to, like,
Yeah,
kill.
she's having to go Satanic instead of something that's more directly offensive,
Yeah.
which is not great. She's almost having to hybridize this. I mean, she does have the Silver Edge and the Daedalus, which is...
Yeah.
That is quite a lot of damage. It's not the
And a
kind of
leveler.
damage they need. And a leveler. Now, that could change things a little bit here. That could change things as part of town.
They really need to ramp her spells to, like, get her passive going on in fights.
Right.
Guess 2 big targets. Especially this Necro is, like, a lot of HP.
Maybe has a lot of HP. He has BKB.
Radiant are scanning.
And he's going to
Yep.
make himself more and more of a target. Necro building himself here almost in a pause 3 mentality. Just like trying to make the lose-lose scenario of being the guy you must target while also being the guy you least want to target here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Which, funnily enough, by Spirit Breaker, the space in his inventory to go for some more aggressive items, like he's got both of his Ags and his Shard now, as we discussed earlier.
Now we're in business.
Yep. Can just keep beating up poor Lena, no matter what she does,
Yep.
basically. Just bowling over side lanes. Backdoor Boys always singing about equilibrium, always singing about making sure everybody's as far back as possible here.
Yeah, they're a super smart team when it comes to that.
Right.
Yep.
They always have an eye on, you know, all their lanes.
They always like to build at least a little global presence, which I think right now is a very strong thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Rat right now isn't very strong, but free Rat is. Just free global
Split,
pushes.
yeah.
PL has Shard, obviously, so.
Yep, he's had that for quite a while.
Yep.
Oh, they
Ooh,
found Lambert.
Lambert.
Oh, they
Lambert.
super found Lambert. He's dead,
Done.
bro. He
That's
sides
not good.
you in 150. That's his dieback.
That's not
Oh no, baby. Oh
good. 2
no.
minutes. 2 minutes.
Oh god, it's 2.5 minutes.
Let's
Oh, it's shit.
Oh. And
That
they
looks like
lost
the game
no
winning
one.
point.
They lost no one.
Aww.
They
That's
had
pretty
so
good,
many. They had so much vision except right where they needed it. They had so much vision except where it was the most important.
Princess
That's-
Cranberry and Lads are the defenders here.
That's definitely the like a good sort of
Okay.
display of
Oh no!
necessary vision coming in for you there. They have so much vision. They're trying to force GG for sure. Look at that, chasing Cranberry into the goddamn fountain. They had
That's
so much
solutions.
vision, so many places on the map, but yet they actually lacked it where they needed it the most, in their own jungle. They lacked any sort of defensive vision at a time. They were super vulnerable.
Yeah.
They had all the offensive vision in the world at a time. They weren't really realistically
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
push.
Has fallen.
Yep.
Dire's middle
That's
tower
certainly, you know, we talked about that a little bit in the Lich and Panic series, necessary vision. You know, we've talked a bit about, like, in some cases, you know, killing yourself for unnecessary. Man, this is looking bad for
Princess
Princess.
is gone.
Oh,
Looking dead for Princess. Pango's buyback actually came back up during that. He was able to get back
Yep.
in, but like, man,
There
that
he
is
is.
such a risk for him. He does get Bane,
Yeah. But
and then he gets charged. That looks funny. Oh, he's able to just dodge. He's able to just dodge the disruptor. Oh, but it
doesn't
doesn't matter.
matter.
Goodbye.
That's
This
it.
is godlike.
Yeah.
They're
Racks are
GGing out of
open.
this.
There is no GG though.
Yeah, you don't GG in game 3 of a semi, I guess. You know, I respect it.
Backdoor Boys high-fiving outside the Radiant Straits base,
Okay.
and that's the
There they
GG.
do.
That's the GG. That's the GG. And with that, the Radiant Straits have finally dried up.
Backdoor Boys will head straight into stuff too.
Oh man, next week will be something else.
Ouch. Man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun series.
I don't think anybody predicted this. I think most people probably looked at this and said all in on Backdoor Boys. I think most people looked at this series and said, that's it, Backdoor wins, but Radiant really made him sweat for this one. I think if
Yeah.
they hadn't caught Lambert in that one encounter there was definitely still a question mark on that game. It was a question mark. I do think that the answer to it was still very likely Backdoor Boys, but man, it's definitely saying something that even when they won, they were still at a deficit on kills.
Yeah.
Yee, ouch.
Two
So-
games, I believe, in this series where the winning team is on a deficit in kills.
Right.
So there's that.
So here's the first order of business to take care of before we do the team moratorium. Oh my god, the lads build.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. Lad of lads, you posted cringe. You're gonna lose subscribers.
Well,
That was a
Sure.
bad build. The Gleep did not help them in the slightest, I don't think. I don't think there was like a single moment where the Gleep did
Yeah.
anything for them Rod couldn't do. And I don't know how much they needed the Rod anyway. They had so much ability to catch as it stood. Like, they had the Pango, they had the Lena, they had the Snap even, you know?
The Panga had a Gleep anyway, so
Right.
yeah, he does.
I don't know how much he even needed the Rod. I think he really could have just gone away with, starting with the Arcs instead of Phase, going right into an early Grease, which would have been very good.
yeah.
Yep, that's just one more thing that screws over Necro. Going into, taking that into Crimson and from there into Pipe. You could do a lot with that setup here. Like, the traditional Pos 3 build was definitely the order of the day, and I feel like, as much as I hate to say it, I feel like if you did that, I think the win percentage chance for Radiant Straits goes up by a double-digit amount. It really just, that build just, it wasn't good. It's very,
They would have definitely been more confident to go high ground for sure.
right. More confident to go high ground, more confident to take fights, and less of a
Yep.
chance of what happened to Lambert constantly there. You know, what happened to
Mhm.
Lambert constantly in that fight does not in that match does not happen if you have auras. Like, you know, just getting caught in the disruptor ult 100 to
Yeah.
0 and into the scythe, that does not happen with Greaves in a pipe for sure. You know, that's so much to eat through, and I don't think you do it. And then he just gets to start ulting in at like maybe half or higher, for God's sakes, health.
Yep.
Mhm.
Definitely could change the world there. Could change the fate of history, I think, which is very unfortunate. Like I said, it was a very, it was a very high stakes game for him. He had the whole world in his hands, and unfortunately, I think he kind of dropped it. He kind of dropped it, and now the Earth is bouncing around the floor. It is rolling right towards the sewer line, and we all might be dead.
Wow. Sad.
Okay, maybe it
Rolling like
wasn't that
Pangolier.
important, but yeah, that was just that was a very, very tragic. That was a very tragic game. I think I'm a little glad we didn't do this live because I think if we did, I would have cried.
Well, we got to see the virus, so
Yeah, that's true. We got to see the virus and we cried anyway.
both
So-
series had cry-worthy
Very
moments
sad.
apparently.
I just noticed something. Radiant Straits is in pause order. It's pretty rare.
Oh, yeah, true they are.
It's very, very slick. Very slick. Alright. Let's go for the moratorium in order of the how I feel like they did compared to their normal standard of play in this series. So
Alright, time to flame.
we're starting out with the guys who choked, and we're ending on the guys who did the best. All right,
Yeah.
so starting out here with Princess, who unfortunately I think had a series here, all games, even the victory, kind of under a station, unfortunately. Just I feel like maybe the ban pool kind of exposing the princess pool there. Like it felt like with those two options out, felt like maybe Princess was pretty lost. Hard to say, I don't know. Game 1 got ridden off pretty bad. Game 2 got stomped out pretty bad. And in Game 3, they built the whole world around the guy, but he just wasn't able to do it. Just wasn't able to do it. And it wasn't all his fault. As I said, unfortunately, I think the lion's share here goes to the Ladda lads. But the just even his itemization wasn't too great, unfortunately. So, um, on the subject of the princess, I mean, he definitely showed. The princess is a pause 3 normally, right? And princess is a big pause 3. Like, princess is the kind of person who, like after the BBC episode ended, me and Princess just sat there and we talked pause 3 shit for like an hour afterwards. Is that kind of pause
Wow.
3? I think brought decent honor to mid. I think brought very, very good honor to mid. Like, early on in the season, I thought Princess was a mid. In the middle of the season, somebody told me Princess was not a mid usually. I thought it was a joke. I didn't believe
Wow.
it until I saw it in the Magician tournament. Like, I mean, well, no, I believed it before then, but I was in the skeptical phase. Like, is that really the case? And I saw Princess in the Magician tournament. I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. So, um, yeah, Princess definitely brought honor to the mid lane. Was not playing to his strength, certainly, but definitely I think Princess and Baladak and Godlike Matt as well all kind of brought honor to the pause 3, the Tao of pause 3 in that mid lane capacity. Um, I don't know what to say at this point because it's like I don't know if Princess is gonna run 3 again. I feel like Princess is probably going to ask for a lot of 3, or we're gonna run 2 again rather. I think Princess is probably going to elbow his way into a lot of 3 moving forward. Definitely, if this season you wanted to learn 2, good job. I think you're really well on your way there.
Yep.
You work on your pool and you work on some of the counterplays. And I think most of all, work on how you dig your way back to relevance if you start out poorly. That's something that we see a lot of from Trashboat. Like Trashboat can have the worst lane phase in the world and still actually have a big impact on the game.
Still destroy, yeah.
Yeah.
Princess, not so much. It didn't seem like. So definitely work on your ability to claw back. Work on your ability to work on your pool. Work on your counter matchups. If you want to stay mid, then there's that. If you want to do pause 3, then show me a season where you're playing pause 3 and I'll comment on it. There you go. So next up was Magician, who, probably gets the 4th place as far as typical performance in this. Magician was asking for commentary in the LD2L, so I'm definitely going to have to give it to him.
Friend of the
best-
show, Magician.
Yeah,
Lovely
yeah.
guy.
And definitely a friend of the show when we're doing the Magician tournaments. But absolutely best friend of the show. Please give us money. So the biggest thing I could say to Magician, and I think this is definitely, if you want to keep playing 5 again, you got 2 different people on Radiant Straits who play 3, who aren't 3 on this team. Because Magician is another 3, right?
Yeah, that's true. A lot of pause 3s.
Right. They have a lot of pause 3s, except for their pause 3. But, Magician, if you want to play pause 5, the best thing I could tell you, for sure, this is it. Work on your laning. Your laning is, like, by far and away, I think, the weakest part of your game. I don't think it's even close. Like, in the mid game, it always seems like in the mid game it turns around. Like we saw that in the scrim, we saw that here, we saw that in some of the early series, like against Sparta, for example, last week. Your mid game is very solid. I think you have a very good eye for picking out a target, bringing down the heat on them, right? With using your kit of abilities intelligently, at least in your pool, right? You've got a very good eye for doing the pause fly stuff in the mid game, but definitely your laning phase. It was just like a 4 or 5 out of 10 at the beginning of the season. I don't know if it really ever got that much better, to be honest with you. You know, it definitely seemed at its best when you were playing very strong laning heroes, like when you were playing up with the Widow of Vern. But outside of that, man, it just never felt like, when you look at something like a wizard, your evil rival wizard, you
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunately didn't end up. I don't think they ever ended up facing. Did Radiant Straits ever play GGs?
I don't know.
I don't think they did. I think
Maybe
they
not.
never fought. But oh no, that was the series that got completely thrown out. That was
Was it?
yeah,
That was
yeah.
GG's in Rada, wasn't it?
No, that got thrown out too. Two
Okay,
GG
two
series
series
got
got
thrown
thrown out.
out.
Alright.
Yeah, that was the weird, like the mysterious stand-in arc where the
Oh, okay.
Slizzy
Yeah, I
somehow
remember
stood
this.
in game one and nobody stood in game two. But
Yeah.
yeah. So either way, yeah, two different GG series just went kaput this season. So yeah, Magician working the lane phase. I also think you're good at like boldly warding. You're definitely good at doing it without losing your life, doing it at pretty low risk. I think the next step for you is learning where it's needed, right? Learning the not necessarily the heat map of wards, but I guess actually yeah, the heat map of wards. You know, not just the great places to put them, not just how to do it effectively without losing your life, but also, you know, how to think about, okay, 5 to 10 minutes from now, not 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 2 to 3 minutes from now, we're going to need vision here, here, and here. We're not going to care about here, here, and here, so I don't have to worry about going this way, right? Our pause 1 will want this, our pause 2 will want that, you know what I mean? If you're going to be 5, that's definitely going to be good for you. You definitely have it down. You definitely have the basics down pat, and that's more than some of the pause 5s have. A lot of pause 5s have the opposite problem, where they've got a very good eye on where vision should be, but they just constantly get themselves killed in the measure of actually doing it.
Right.
Um, Definitely learning where the wards are going to need to be uh, is definitely going to be good. Vex, you played with these guys. Any comments for Magician?
I didn't play with these guys. I played against them.
Okay, you played against these guys.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like the one and the two are like obviously really good, and as you said, they have a really good like thing going on with each other, like coordination
I
wise.
was
But
talking about Magician specifically.
oh, magician.
Yeah.
As you said, like I played the Winter Wyvern game against him. He had a lot of good ults, obviously. He really made it difficult to like do anything. So he has a quick response time. We've seen this with like the first game that we casted today with the Hex in the
Right.
mid lane, if you remember.
Right. Right.
But yeah, as you said, definitely need to like know where to ward and stuff. And otherwise, I think spell casting wise, he's doing fine. Like
Right.
knowing when like where to be to not die, I
This is
guess.
gonna sound
Yeah.
strange, but I think the best thing Magician could do actually to establish himself as a better pause 5 would actually be maybe to do a season as a 4. You know, in a situation where he's going to be still supporting, but
Yeah.
he's going to be forced into like he's going to have to win his lanes. He's going to have
Mhm.
to get that early game momentum going, and he's going to be stalking around more in the vision range rather than warding quite so much himself. I mean, he should probably still be warding once in a while as a 4, but um, he's going to be stalking around more. He's going to know. He's going to get that battle sense as far as where the vision needs to be. So I think the skills you could get running around is 4, which 4 very similar to 5 anyway. Not identical, but pretty similar. I think probably the two most similar roles in the game. Um, Running around as 4 would definitely do you some good, I think. What do you think, Randy?
I mean, yeah, it could work. Could fix some of the flaws you were talking about, potentially.
Right.
Work on his laning, you know.
So, um, right smack down in the middle, you got the lad of lads, brother. I'm just gonna lay it here on you right now. I'm just gonna tell it to you straight. There's an it for 3, right? There's an X factor for 3. There's a Dow of pause 3, right? You know, it's very much a sort of theory based position. I think it's a very philosophical based position. It's a very doctrinal position, right? Um, and there are a few doctrines within it, right? There is the tank, there is the team fight coordination, there is the initiate, all those sort of schools within. But there's a lot of doctrine involved in 3. And brother, I just don't know if the playstyle fits you. And it seems you don't think so either. If the whole morphling thing I'm hearing about. But
Oh, Morphling thing.
yeah. That's some inside baseball though, so I won't go too deep in on it. But suffice to say, yeah, I just don't think 3 is your place. To be honest with you, the eye for it just doesn't seem to be there. We definitely have seen some good plays, some good shot calling, some good sense from you. It's not like you're a hopeless player. I just think you would do better off on a 1 or a 2, I think. It's
Here's
just as
some
simple as.
here's some insider information for you guys. Like
Alright.
before this tournament, I played in FHDL. That was probably my first. I don't know if you guys know about Fluffy Hat, but
A little bit.
I've heard
yeah,
of it, yeah.
but yeah, I was on a team on there, and a lot of lads was also on a separate team, and he played 1 there, and I would say 1 definitely suits him better, as you said.
Right,
'Cause,
yeah.
yeah,
If the intent was to learn 3, well, we see the results here. This is 2 threes talking to you.
Hey,
I
we
don't
see the
see it.
results, top 3. So,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
fair enough.
The if you you got me, you got Vex. I just don't think it's your place, brother. I just don't think this is your world. You know, the itemization, I don't think it ever really clicked. The really limited pool kept holding you back, and the lack of experience to confidence. Like, I think, and Vex, you can speak for me here. You were watching that pick phase too, right? Like last
Yeah.
game, if you're like a 3 who's deep in on the roll, like the first thing you see when you see that lineup is picks X, right? Like surely.
Yeah, picks or Sand King. Sand King would be fine, I think.
Well, he picked Sand King and it didn't work.
Yeah, that too. But I'm just talking about myself.
Right, right. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, brother. It's gonna sound like a flame. I don't mean it as a flame. I don't, like I
Yeah,
said, I don't think you're a bad player. I just don't feel like on that like it ever clicked for you. It just and there's a thing with 3. You can always tell when somebody has it and when somebody doesn't have it with 3.
it's a very
Like
passionate role.
I
Definitely.
mentioned, yeah, it's written all over how you play, like
Yeah.
your understanding of it. It's like I said, very early on in the season, I knew X3 on Lich Better Have Your Money had something special, even though he was like getting trashed far more than Lads was, in fact, on a pretty regular basis, right? Like he was getting messed up. His pool was even smaller. Like he really only had 1 hero he knew how to play at that point, right? But I could just definitely tell from the way he laned, from the way he bought, from the way he played, from the way he acted during the fights. He was big on the 3. You know, you can tell if you watch Princess in that 3 role, for example. You can tell if you watch. I think it's some other guys. I think Pasky, at least one part of that 3, he's really good on. I think Bufus has a pretty confident understanding of it. I think Ramanolo gets it all, except he's not great at initiation, even though they
big
kind of
boy.
ran him. Big boy, yeah, definitely big boy. Big boy, like Big Boy looks, he smells like a 3. I think if you saw Big Boy LaCroix walking down the street, you know he was a 3. He's like that kind of guy. Present Company, you can definitely tell him. Luke's, um, as well. Definitely Luke's as well. You can sniff a 3. You can smell a 3 out. It's every part of you. And it's no like great shame to be in this position, you know? It's like if you sat there and listed it all the things I can't do, it would be a very long list. It's no great shame to not be able to do it because I think, in my personal, humble, incredibly biased opinion, I do think it is probably the overall most difficult role because there is so many factors to it. You, in particular, most notably, most threes don't do builds. You just can't do a build as a three ever,
Yep.
basically.
Yep, yep.
Like, yeah, some of the initiators can. There's some heroes that are so powered by skills that you can sort of just do whatever you want. Like a Baden, I think you can pretty much run like a very similar Baden build in every game and get away with it, just because he's so dependent on the skills rather than his items quite so much, right? And
Yep.
how he gets what he gets done. But like for the most part, threes you can't do skill builds, you can't do item builds, and you've got so many things on your plate you have to potentially worry about. I think to that end, it's probably the most difficult overall role, and if it's not, it's very close. So,
Yeah, it can be overwhelming, as you said. Obviously, with all these things going on, like with all these like roles you have to fit in, because
and you
yeah,
always have at least like a little bit on your shoulders, and
yep,
oftentimes you're stuck in a situation like this. In this game, the world was all about lads. In this
yep,
game, Radiant Straits was going to win or lose based on what he did, and that's a lot of pressure. That is a lot of pressure.
yes.
If you're gonna see anybody crack, you're gonna see a three crack. No offense to Big Boy Lacroix, he's a great example. You saw it last week. He cracked. He just
Mhm.
he had so much pressure on him in that game, and with the bans coming out and everything, he just couldn't take it. He kind of broke down, and
It
that
happens.
was a major downfall for Sparta.
That's why you also like the team things comes up again, where like the team needs to like support each other and like
Right,
do like because as three, like you have to make your own calls and like ask people if they're ready for like whatever, and like people should be like in retrospect should be also be able to like support you in what
right,
you're doing and stuff like that. So
yeah. You have
it
to
works
keep
both ways.
you have to keep your eyes on four members of your own team and five members of the other guys. It's
Yep.
not just a mini map. I mean, you have to know what's up. You have to know what's ready. I mean, you have to know a lot. You have to know a lot.
Yep.
You have to be able to keep. You have to juggle a lot of things. It's tough stuff. It's tough stuff, and it's a different skill set. I think that's ultimately the biggest thing. I know lads did not do a lot of three before this tournament. It's a different skill set. I think next season, even if people are a little hesitant for it, petition for one. Definitely petition for one. You know,
Yep.
hopefully, I think the stigma perhaps next season on the one has to be a really high MMR is going to be broken. I don't think
Yeah.
people are going to be comfortable like running the PEBCAC again, for example, but I think the stigma next season is going to be
I mean,
broken because we
she's like
saw
really new. She's
right,
like, okay, I'll tell you where she comes from. She actually comes from Dota U also.
right.
Yeah. So
Um
like, she's
and
really new.
she also I'll talk about it off camera. But either
Okay.
way,
Okay.
um just I think probably personal stuff. But yeah, I don't think people are going to be confident enough to be running a PEBCAC, but like, if you look at NWA, is anybody blaming NWA on Manifest Destiny's personal gameplay? No, he just didn't mesh with what he was given. You look
Yeah.
at Lich. Lich
Mhm.
made bracket with the Bush, who is 14 years old, the third lowest MMR possible in the league. They still made bracket, and they still did
Yeah.
fine with him. I mean, he did kind of drop a little bit in game one of the Panic series, but like other than that, you could definitely build a solid team around a Bush and be fine. And he's definitely lower MMR. So here's hoping next season you get to play to your strengths because I want to see what your strengths look like. I want to see what you can do when you're on a roll you're comfortable with, when you're on a roll you have that skill set for, and it definitely seems like you do. I want to see that. I want to see that in action. So
Hopefully,
yeah,
all this talk gives more importance to like how unique of a role three is, and people
right.
get how unique it is and how important it is that like you just don't put your like support on three
Yeah, you
and
don't
just be
stick
okay with it.
some
Yeah.
random guy on a three. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest issue overall this season that some of these teams had, especially as time went on, was it seemed like 3 and 5 were the jabroni role. Like
Yeah.
like you just stick your lowest MMR guy on 5 and your second lowest MMR guy on 3, and you just hope that works out. And I think the only team that had either one of those that's doing that well right now is the Backdoor Boys. Like every other lineup where the lowest MMR player is either 3 or 5 is already gone. Well, I mean, obviously, because like most teams are gone, but I don't think any of those made like these two matches. Like, what do you think? I actually have it on record right here. I can actually check it and make sure I'm not an idiot.
Yeah. I think
Wow.
you're right.
All
Yeah.
right, Vex, why don't you talk about a funny story while I'm getting this little info out?
Hmm. I don't know if I have one.
Then make something up. That's what all the professionals do.
Or is the worst teammate you've ever gotten in a Dota game, like a random in a pub?
Oh, in a pub? There's a lot, man. There's a lot. Like I usually just like to mute and just like blast music while I play on ranked. That's like my therapeutic thing to do for like the day.
That's fair.
But
Damn.
I get lots of shit. I get like Necro 5. I get like Witch Doctor mid. I
You know what
get
I always like in games is when people just assume for some reason I'm going to be playing 4. No matter what I'm picking. Like, I understand why some people think Undying is a 4, right? People do run
yeah.
Undying 4. I don't understand why sometimes people think I'm picking, like, Pause 4 Darkseer.
It's so
Things like
bad.
that.
Pause 4 Darks here is so bad.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I got it in a pub. Like I was playing 3 and someone was supporting me on Darkseer. And they just like went in jungle, like made stacks for themselves and just farmed them. And just never showed up to lane. And I was like, I'm just like dying here, dude. Just do something.
Okay, the answer is the only team of the top 4 teams that where their lowest MMR was either 3 or 5 was Radiant Straits, where it was Magician.
Mm.
All the other ones, it was actually all the other ones were pause 4. In fact, of the bracket teams, in total, let's see. So, GG's was 4, Panic is 4, Schlark is 5, Backdoor 4, Straits 5, Sparta 4, Rule 3, Lich 5. So, of the top 8 teams, does seem like the bottom half of that was mostly 3 or 5, and well, they all
Yeah.
got knocked out, didn't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, one thing though, I definitely hope to see next season, maybe some more 3-oriented teams. I do feel like um, maybe people are going to be a little bit burned by that because they're going to look at like, well, let's just call a spade a spade. There were 3 pause 3 focus teams this season, and 2 of them died miserable deaths.
That's true.
You had not Panic at the Roche Pit, Jesus. You had Nagas with Attitude, you had Smells Like Team Spirit, and you had This Is Sparta. And not everybody on Nagas hates each other, and Team Spirit didn't even make it to the end of the season.
Sad.
So hopefully that doesn't burn people, because I do feel like it's definitely a thorn in their side, and I feel like the worst thing is people kind of use it as an excuse. I'm not gonna name any names, Kid Dynamite, but there is a lot of people who think, oh yeah, the way you learn Dota 2 is you just play pause 3 or 5 and you watch everybody else play. And I just don't know if that's really the case. I feel like you're gonna get a lot of seasons like this lad season here, where this is just so off role for him. This is just so off his skill set. He just wasn't able to accomplish much. And yeah, if he wants to do one, he had a great one to learn from. I think Lambert probably, I think even now, still probably the best one in the entire league when he's on. But, like, mm, was this a good experience for lads? How much did this mean? Definitely remains to be seen. I don't know if he had a good time. That's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest thing. You know, if you look at one other thing
You know,
this year,
you gotta have fun. Like if you're just having a
right,
miserable time, you're not gonna learn anything. You're just gonna want to
Yeah.
stop playing.
right,
Yep.
right. So to that end, yeah, that's all we can say about lads. I think a very long rant for the guy. Poor magician was specifically asking for it, and lads is probably not even gonna watch this, and he got like 30 goddamn minutes. You know, but it's because we had to make sure, because it was a very harsh sounding thing. We had to make sure it's
There's a
all
past 3
clear.
people getting passionate about the role, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. So
it is what
you
it
should
is,
have
man.
boss on, because boss would have been like, yeah, probably. Who knows? Anyway, Boss was first pick to be here today. Just was not available at this time. Shoutouts to Boss. Sorry I didn't make it, buddy. So next up, Lambert, who I think did a little better than his station actually through these games. Lambert just still actually did very, very good here, even in games where he didn't win.
Yep.
Lambert, I think you struck gold with Princess, dude. Like, if you Princess, I said this before, I'll say it again. If you Princess a Magician, maybe Cranberry, if you do like ranked with this lineup, you're gonna be out of the LD2L range like really quick. Like you're gonna be out of here in a flash. To be honest with you, the synchronization is definitely there. That mix factor is definitely there. You guys play the same game, and that is a hard thing to find. It would be really ideal, actually, for this combination, I think, if Princess maybe made the full-time plunge into Tudum, right? Because I feel like you get a lot more when your 2 and your 1 are on the same page than when your 3 and your 1 are on the same page. And that is still very important, I can tell you that. I think one of the combinations we stack with, I personally have a pretty good rapport with one of the 1s. And sadly, it's not Randy. And to that end, even though the 1 in particular is probably below station compared to the other 90 pause 1s we queue with from time to time, there is definitely a noticeable, tangible benefit there, right? Even though this person is considerably like less experienced, for example, right? It's definitely still noticeable. It is still good to have that chemistry, but I think that 2-in-1 chemistry that we see on Radiant Straits, it was super powerful. I think, really, to be honest with you, I think the biggest issue here was A, the amount of stand-in matches you had, and B, just the 3 ended up just not being who you wanted it to be, basically. And by the way, speaking of the other guy in that equation, and I have nothing else to say to Lambert except maybe don't buy Midas in early game focused games. I know why you buy Midas in early game focused games, but you don't. You shouldn't.
Don't buy Midas on Slark.
Yeah, please. Finally, Cranberry Sprite, who I think showed us a very good display in this series. I think, again, I hate to say the same thing I said to lads, but I think Fi might be your calling, dude. I think you should really give it a shot because you have a lot of good game sense for a pause 5, and I think on 5 with maybe like a more aggressive, a more sort of like 4-oriented 4, right? Like if you play on a lineup with like a Roxy Roro on a 4, if you play on a lineup with like say a Dogtown, that would be great on a 4, for example, right? I think you could go well with that. You definitely have the steward mentality in lanes, it feels like. You're definitely better, it seems to me, at keeping alive than getting kills. Not to say you're bad at getting kills, right? That's definitely 5 stuff. The game sense is 5 stuff. It's 5 stuff all around. I think you are missing your calling a little bit. Not much. I think you're missing your call a little bit. Look for 5 next round. I think that's the best thing I have to tell you there. Because I feel like when it comes to the team fight operation, you're really good at knocking out like individual VIPs, but like 4s I think need a little more than that as far as the fight side of affairs go. But 5s certainly don't. 5s, that's what you want to be doing. Like if you're 5 and you just completely shut down, like if you're like, you're Bane and you're ulting a big core, that means a hell of a lot. But like a 4 I think is more usually going to be team fight oriented. And when we saw you play, like the Snapfire this game, didn't really impress. It seemed like most of the ults just came in like, didn't really. I mean, they were bad, but they just weren't like it factor ults, What do you think, Randy? You've had a few stints on 4 in your life.
Right, I mean, sure, I don't play 5, that's the problem. I don't know what skills are needed for to be a 5.
I guess that's true. And yeah, that's a moratorium on Radiant Straits. That was probably longer than the game itself. So yeah, I played on Radiant Straits once. I know what they're like.
Yeah.
At least in the amount of information one game gives you. Hey Vex, why the hell didn't you stand in on them when Lads was out? Was that when you were like on vacation? Because I know you're in the MMR bracket.
Stand in for Radiant Straits?
Yeah. Because they had a week where he was, I think 2 weeks where he was out.
No, I didn't. It was someone else.
No, I'm saying why didn't you, bro?
Why didn't I? Maybe I was on the vacation. I think.
Yeah, damn. Should have just stayed home.
Also,
You
they
know?
didn't ask me, so
Yo, what the hell? I'm gonna have some magician. Thou and I are going to have a frank discussion. But yeah, I think that's all we can say here. So, with that being said, special thanks to Vex showing up here tonight, and I think that's the ball game. So, if you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, and if you want to have like a 9-hour blog analyzing your playstyle like these guys all got here and everybody else has gotten so far, we'll have some more of those in the Week 7 games coming out this week. Go to ld2l.gg. Surprise, surprise, right before the finals is the wrong time to sign up for the season. But
yeah.
season 13, not that far away. I think the estimation is like what? Like a couple of months from now? Like
Yep.
April or May or
March.
so? March? Ooh, that's early.
I think
Poor
it's
magician. But
you'll
yeah,
definitely see me not as a stand-in.
right.
That's for
We're
sure.
gonna have Vex in full time, so that'll be interesting.
Yep.
We've seen a lot of good stuff from Vex. If I had to give you one piece of advice, Vex, go
Yep.
goddamn Q so your MMR actually matches yourself, bro. Don't sandbag us.
I'm not sandbagging, dude.
Bro, you're sandbagging. You ain't no goddamn 1.5k player, you son of a bitch. I know what 1.5k threes are like. Get out of here. Anyway, yeah, you'll be seeing Vex. You'll be seeing some commentary from us. You'll be seeing some commentary from some other
Oh.
folks too, perhaps.
Shout outs
And
to Randy. Shout outs to Ocelot who
yeah,
can't make
Ocelot.
it today.
Yeah, Ocelot who called me a kook. You know, Ocelot
Yeah,
actually probably could have been here. I just, it's just special guest season. Be seeing him
Foreman has
hopefully.
some bad.
Yeah, be seeing him hopefully Sunday.
So you guys
Maybe,
have to bring a big ass cast for the finals, like at least 5 or 6 people.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah?
yeah. You just get the 5-man desk. Everybody call one individual position. There we go.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
Well,
captain of every team that got eliminated
yeah,
will be
yeah.
joining the desk.
Uh, well, we're gonna have to talk about that after the recording ends, actually. But,
Yep.
either way, so yeah, go to ld2l.gg. It's too late to sign up. Next season, right around the corner. There's gonna be a lot of in-houses on the way there. There's gonna be a lot of opportunities to get some analysis like this on the way there. And hopefully next season's going to be maybe a little bit more competitive from top to bottom. I think all the side series that are going on right now is definitely going to help out towards that. I know people are already kind of planning around their teams next season. I think that's a good start. So,
Hmm.
yeah, and that's it. But before we sign out, I'd like to talk a little bit about today's sponsor. Today's sponsor of our cast is the LD2L. If you or somebody
Wow.
you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg. It's too late to sign up now, but you can sign up for next season pretty soon. I'm sure the draft will not be that long from now. You could play some of these in-houses. Maybe you could even stand in if for some reason somebody can't make finals. All that kind of fun stuff. You can even go into that Discord. You can talk to us. We're all there.
Good. We're all there, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know when we have Ocelot on, Ocelot is Discordophobic. He doesn't talk in servers ever. He's not even in the LD2L actually server. But
He's too cool for it.
he's too cool for school, bro. But
Too
Yep.
cool to join any casts.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, he's probably gonna be in some of these week 7s, but you know, because week 7s aren't cool enough to have special guest commentary. Sorry, but
True.
yeah, and that's it. We'll see you next time. See you later.
See you.
Say goodbye, Randy.
Goodbye.